Okay, so tomorrow is the Insight Esports 5K to do one every week. It's going to be an historic, and I need to pick a deck for it. And I haven't played historic in quite a while, so I'm going to go to Old Faithful Dimir Control. This is Reed Duke's list that he played in the Strixhaven Championship. It was pre-AFR. It was before the D&D set came out. But I don't really think that there's much that this deck really wants to add from the new set anyway. And I haven't seen anyone play it in competitive tournaments so far at all. And that can't be right, so I want to see how it stacks up against the field. I think it's got to be good enough to have a place. Although not if we draw opening hands like this. This is pretty painful. Alright, so we got a mystery box here. Opponent has no companion. Doesn't mean as much as it used to. I think we're just putting back Field of Ruin here. Obviously, we'd love to know if Extinction Event was any good, but there's some chance that we can get rid of it with Brainstorm. We could use Field of Ruin to shuffle away the Extinction Event, but I don't think that that's a good use of our mana. I'm just going to put back the field. I'm going to play Mountain. Could be, just Jeskai Control. Could be just about anything. I'm just going to play a tap land and say go. Cling to Dust is great if it happens to be as a Phoenix or something. Just another Mountain. Interesting. Don't think I want to fire off this Brainstorm yet. Is there any reason we want to Brainstorm now? We might hit Search for Azcanta. So I guess I'll do it. Narset's pretty good. Drown in the Lock is pretty good. All of this is pretty good. I think I'll put these two back, keep Narset on top. And say go. Obviously, Drown in the Lock has no food quite yet. But it will once they crack the Fable Passage, so they're not mono-red. Dead Zone. Good to see you. You're here right on time. Even if you're giving me shit. That's fine, that's fine. You're not wrong. Alright, so I still don't know what we're up against here. But I'm gonna jam Narset. No, that's fine. Giving me shit helps the algorithm. We can try Thoughtseize. We have the Commit Memory combo, which could be kind of tough for them to stop. We already have a Cling to Dust in hand. I don't know what we're up against. I'm gonna take Commit. And we've made our land drop for the turn, so I think I'm just going to say go. You just got the Twitch notification? Yeah, we've been live for almost 5 minutes now. I'm glad to know Twitch is on top of things. Teamer. Okay. So this is probably the Indomitable Creativity. If it's Indomitable Creativity, I don't think we care much about their graveyard, but we do like having Drown in the Lock for it to kill a token. So I think I'm just gonna chew on my own graveyard to keep Drown in the Lock alive. We do hit our land drop. We do hit Search for Azcanta. But I'm kind of digging holding up Commit for whatever they play and then casting Memory the following turn. If they have a counterspell, then that's... Well, we can't even do that the following turn unless we draw a land. Alright, I'm just going to play Azcanta. And I'll shock in to play around something like Censor. You never know in the ladder what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, the Discord one was faster because it was it was me. I did it. You can't trust automated systems. Escape to the wilds. Is this like adventures? Okay. Scoot Swarm? Okay, so this is like just Genesis Ultimatum stuff. So they're still 2 turns away from casting Ugin, so this is not going to get cast, which is good. I think we kind of want this land drop, eh? Yeah, I think so. Just play our land. We have commit for just about anything. Hopefully this Narset is making things awkward for them. Scoot Swarm. They have Languish in the deck, I'm pretty sure. No, we just have Extinction Event. I'm gonna send back the Scoot Swarm. Not the profile pic. Yeah, we've got the new profile picture. In significant part thanks to you. I think it looks much better than the original. Honestly, I do. I mean, we're gonna cast Memory next turn, right? So we might as well just counter this. I think we're up for this. Obviously, it's going to make our Search for Azcanta take longer to flip. But it's hard to imagine losing from this spot. I guess they could hit exactly Genesis Ultimatum, although now that we've drawn Dispute, they don't even have that anymore. So... it's a pretty good draw. So about Dimir, I'm not really sure. It seemed really good during the Strixhaven Championship. Then the new set came out, and no one played it anymore. And I don't know why. I think people were trying to get the... Demi-Lich working with Phoenix, but I still think this has got to be good. It might not be the best deck, but I think it has a good Phoenix matchup and a good blue deck matchup. And that should go a long way in Historic. Alright, so we've got to find a board wipe. No such luck. I don't really want a Field of Ruin them, because it'll give them more Scoot Swarm tokens. And their next turn is going to be Genesis Ultimatum, so no matter what we do, we need to hold up Mystical Dispute. Still think we want to get a Narset down. Nice. What's the reason you played Dimir over Jeskai? Jeskai has Helix? Yeah, I mean... Dimir has a few advantages, right? It has better mana. I think it's the better Search for Azcanta deck. And I think it is actually better at dealing with wide boards. I say that as I'm getting pummeled by scoot swarms. They're attacking Narset for 4, so we can't save her.
I shall miss your company.
Then is this ultimatum. I think now we really want to draw. Okay, there's Narset. It's not the worst. What is there anything we really don't want? Probably Doomblade. So we can bin it with the Search for Escanta. Doomblade just isn't going to cut it at this point.
I know 88 ways I have just the trick.
Wow. Just can't find the board wipe. We do run some, I promise. This is getting kind of scary. Yeah, I mean, you have all the Scoot Swarm tokens you want. It's board wipe or bust for us. Let's see how they attack. Ideally, we'd be able to save Narset here. Like, save a Narset activation here. They're attacking her for 4, so we can't really save her. Yeah, I think we're just letting this happen. I don't want to tap out just to save 1 life. Alright, so what gives us the best crack at finding a Wrath? Could also jam Shark Typhoon next turn, I guess. Seems fairly likely that they could have Brazen Borrower. Alright. I'm just gonna cycle this for 2, I guess, which leaves mana open to, well, not to do nothing, really. Let's just make it as big as we can. There we go. What, just for Domo, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. What other decks are you considering beyond Dimir control? We're considering Phoenix and Jeskai control. Those deck lists are in the Discord, if you want to take a look at them. They're also on my Ether Hub. Alright, so these are all odd, right? So we can just do this now. And yeah, I think we're playing Narset.
My prowess is on another thoughtfulness before action.
So Thoughtseize is past its prime at this point. So is Dispute, really. But maybe a Dispute plus Drown the Lock hits something. I don't think we need Cling to Dust number 3. So we'll take that. Wow. So they found Eugene. And it plays perfectly around the Dispute, and we can't counter it with We can't counter it with Drown. We do have a Baleful Mastery in the deck that we haven't seen yet, so I think the goal is going to be to dig for that. It says the Discord link is expired. Alright. There. That one is fresh. It ought to work.
I have reached my limit.
Let's update that command while we have the chance. Cool. Alright, Commence the Endgame is not, like, the very worst. It does flash in a token at instant speed end of turn that can kill Ugin. So I guess we'll keep that. I don't think there's much downside in digging for the Baleful Mastery now, though. Still can't find it. Excellent. Do I want to play this land, or do I want to have a bigger token? I think I want to play the land. The Shark is also nice to attack down the Ugin later. How many basics do we have left in the deck? 3? Elvenwald Hydra. 11/11. Power and toughness equal to lands you control. I guess they get to put a land into play. And it has reach, which is really irritating. Yeah, I guess it resolves. I think Fetid Pools is a pretty reasonable inclusion in a 2-color control deck in Historic. As you can see, the deck is prone to not finding the cards that it needs. So, 7 mana. I think we're casting Commence and Cling. I guess we should Cling first in case we find... I don't even know what. That'll do it. Okay. So now we can Commence, we can kill the Hydra, and we can attack down the Ugin. Should I slam Shark Typhoon first? If the last card in hand is Ugin, that seems pretty bad, right? So let's just be patient. Evil Empire. The gang is all here. Welcome, it's good to see you, as always. How are you doing? After the debacle that was yesterday, I'm playing decks that I actually like today. This plays nicely around my 2 Mystical Disputes. It's really frustrating. Shockingly frustrating, actually. Let's take a look at what we find with Iskanta. Sure, another Shark Typhoon, why not? I guess I want to spend these Mystical Disputes, right? If they, then they can't, at least one, if they pay, then they can't use the castle. If we Field of Ruin their castle, we can drown. Ooh. That's a good play. Yeah. Do we Field of Ruin the castle, or do we Field of Ruin the World Tree? I think it's the castle. Wow, somehow we're really low on time, too. That never happens to me. Alright. Let's just try to kill him quick. Sure. Alright. So we get a 12-12 shark and we win. Cool. I mean, that was much harder to convert than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be. We got the Narset memory combo on like turn 6, and still our answers just did not line up very well. Alright, so Ether Gust seems pretty good. Gate seems pretty good. I'm not sure how I feel about Thought Distortion. Like, a huge chunk of their deck is actually creatures. But maybe that won't be true post-board. They had their Lotus Cobra that they showed us last game. I think we want Commence. Honestly, most of the deck just seems pretty good. I think Drown is kind of bad. Like, we're just not very good at putting stuff in their graveyard. We found that most of their spells were just too expensive for us to counter anyway. Maybe I'm cutting the Drowns. Maybe 3 Cling to Dust isn't great. I mean, the reason that they're in the deck is for Phoenix more than anything. If they have their own uncounterable spells, Discontinuity can be pretty good. Can cancel out their Commence the End games. Now what? 2 more cuts. Maybe it's Fatal Push. We didn't see many targets for it. Let's go with this. Can't wait to see what lands we're getting in Innistrad. I don't know. That's before my time. I've heard that we're getting Ghost Quarter. People seem pretty confident about that because of the Book of Exalted Deeds ban. Or the not ban. They explicitly said it won't be banned when Innistrad comes out. Yeah, but I know Innistrad's the next set, but it'll probably harken back to the old Innistrad sets, right? Alright, our hand's a mystery box. I think we can keep this. Brainstorm fixes everything. Brainstorm plus Fabled Passage fixes even more. Is there anything I want to counter on to? Probably not, but let's do this anyway. Do I want to play the Fable Passage for the Brainstorm right away, or do I want to hold up Negate? think I'll play the Fable Passage. I got all excited about lands until Field of the Dead was a thing. Honestly, our hand is pretty good. Go put back Cling. Our hand's really good. Probably Cling and a land. And next turn we can Thoughtseize, hold up, negate. When did I start MTG? I started MTG like casually when Guilds of Ravnica came out. And then I probably started playing more seriously around Ikoria, I think. Alright, let's start with Thoughtseize. Because if they have, Oh, okay. I was gonna say if they have Escape to the Wilds, we really want to hit that. We don't have an answer to the Scoot Swarm, which is frustrating. Ashiok. What does that hit for us? It turns off Fable Passage. Yeah, so he mills essentially 20 cards. Okay. You can have your Ashiok. We might even counter it. But honestly, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I didn't go to the Guild's pre-release. My first pre-release was War of the Spark. Gotta play faster. Fetid Pools. At this point, Fetid Pools seems like the kind of thing we might want to cycle. Nah, I'm gonna play it tapped. Because at some point I'm gonna want to play Commence the Endgame. It has Ashiok. We're gonna negate this? I don't think so. I think this is fine. Is Ghost Quarter even good? It's fine. It's historic legal and doesn't see any play. But the important thing is that it's a cheap, colorless, uncounterable land destruction. So it would deal with Faceless Haven. Okay. Am I brainstorming here? Doesn't really accomplish much. Shark Typhoon's pretty good. So Shark Typhoon we can use to attack down this Ashiok if we want. Next turn we'll have Commence the Endgame. Those are some good cards they just milled. So I'd love to ambush one of these, but I fear Genesis Ultimatum. Should I? Yes, they have the mana for it. Don't know what they're thinking about now. Hello, opponent. I cannot stand that dragon. Alright, Fable Passage is nice. We get to cast Commence without hurting ourselves. Extinction Event isn't that bad either. I'm not willing to use it on these two 1/1s yet. That'll be, I think, if they rip Scoot Swarm off the top. I guess I should have been a little fearful of the opponent having their own Shark Typhoon there. So this is where I would like to have a faster clock to kill the opponent. Alright. So we're going to dispute this while the disputing is good. Now we can't commence, but we can brainstorm with Fabled Passage. Alright, I think Thoughtseize is probably past prime. I'll put back the Watery Grave and shuffle both of these away, I think. We haven't cycled this Fetid Pools? Probably do, honestly. There we go. And that's why. We jam Narset here. If we do, we have double negate backup. Yeah, okay. And Brainstorm, Shark Typhoon. Probably Shark Typhoon. Might scare them away from attacking Narset. It does not, but we're not going to block. We're going to hold up these counter spells till the end of time. Or at least the end of their turn. That's a pretty good top deck. Not gonna lie. That's nice top deck. And that's why we don't block the Rejuvenator with the Shark Typhoon. Yeah, you cracked that Fabled Passage. Yeah, you gotta think that this is probably over, but the opponent doesn't know that we have another negate in hand. And if they resolve a Genesis Ultimatum, they're right back in the game. So they can't, in good conscience, concede here. Yeah, they have some good draws. If we don't have a counterspell, Escape to the Wilds is great for them. Genesis Ultimatum is great for them. Ugin is like medium for them. Ugin, I guess, would just die to the two sharks. Oh, no, it wouldn't. Ugin would kill this shark. Yeah, they have good draws left. That's not one of them, though. Come on, opponent. I have a stream to entertain. Decide whether to use your Castle Vantress or not. Does anyone else love Search for Azcanta way more than they should? This card just makes me so happy. Okay. So we've established that Evil Empire is a better person than Dead Zone. Sorry, those are just the rules. It's just how it works. Come on, opponent. Oh, that's why I mean more than I should. Like, Search for Azcanta is not a great card, but it's an amazing card, if you know what I mean. Alright, Yugi. Draw your last pathetic card. Man, Ravnica Legion Standard, I was thinking about buying Paper Esper Control. And I remember, like, Mortify was, like, the most expensive card. Well, it wasn't the most expensive card, but it was ridiculously expensive for what it did. Obviously, Teferi was the most expensive card. Mortify hit, like, everything. And then you had Grixis with Bedevil, which was, like... The difference between Mortify and Bedevil was, like, exactly the difference between Grixis and Esper. One was good, and the other was not, even though they both did almost exactly the same thing. Wow, where did the Exodia emotes come from? Anyway, yes. Feels really good to win for once. Although we did just beat up on, you know, not a great deck. 1-0. I love Dicklebulus Dragon God. And I was really happy when that 4-color Esperone deck got to run him. I played a lot of that one. Twitch did a Yu-Gi-Oh! Watch along? I think I've watched more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series than I did of the actual show. So there's Gigantha, so it's either Jund or it's Niv-Mizzet. If it's Niv-Mizzet, Mystical Dispute's a reasonably good card. If it's Jund, this hand is pretty trash. But it's the Arena Ladder, and you don't have any idea which one it is, so... Attention duelists. I don't think it matters what we do here. I guess we don't want to play the castle because it'll be exposed to Field of Ruin. Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on YouTube. Probably the funniest thing I've ever seen on YouTube was the, what was it? The Red Letter Media review of Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Mortify dealt with enchantments, like Search for Azcanta, and Bedevil hit artifacts. And the only relevant one was the Immortal Sun, and that rotated pretty quick. So, that Grixis just hit all the wrong things. Let's get the Field of Ruin down. Niv-Mizzet that doesn't run that many basics. We might be able to stick them. I think the only basics it runs are swamps, so if we kill this Rogran Tyrant, we might be in good shape. I think we're down to just do it now, so as not to give him the extra mana. We'll pretend we have Mystical Dispute still, off the top. Or Brainstorm, I guess. Cold Steel Heart. Okay. So yeah, they fetched a Swamp. So they're still missing white. But if they have white, they can cast and visit here. We will probably commit it. Expressive Iteration, huh? I don't think Drown in the Luck is getting significantly better, and this is a really good hit. So I think I'm just going to counter this, honestly. Alright, so there's all 5 colors. No, they had the land. They're just looking for the right color land. So Narset's a little too late, right? We play Narset, they play Niv-Mizzet. They get a bunch of cards in hand. We untap, we can commit their Niv Mizzet. And if we somehow make it through to the next turn, we can memory. But I don't think that's really realistic. So obviously, yeah, okay. So they could have dispute, which would really suck, but we're definitely casting commit here. Alright. Are we cracking the Sable Passage? I don't think so. Alright. Now we're gonna play Narset. Ooh, Dispute's pretty good. Right. So I have 5, 6, 7. Actually, I mean, Niv will probably get through a Dispute. Still, better than nothing. You're worried about vanishing first on the Narset? Yeah, I mean, that's still a good exchange for us. We come out a card ahead. Yeah, we're not making a 1-1 here. How many cards do they have in the bin? 3. 3 cards in the bin is awkward. We may just have to let this Niv resolve. How many cards do we have in the bin? 4? So I think Memory is for next turn. If we cast Memory now, then the one card they're gonna draw is Niv, and they can play it again next turn, and then refill their hand. So we'd rather have Memory for the post Niv Mizzet play. If we're gonna do that, then Commence isn't actually all that great anymore. I think we do want Search. Yeah, this matchup does feel good. But it doesn't feel as great as you would think, right? Like, normally you don't want to be the guy jamming 5 mana sorcery speed stuff into the deck that's full of counterspells and removal. But I mean, if they ever resolve it, then the advantage is just so extreme. So if they cast a visit here, I will dispute it, even though they can pay, because I want them to pay. I don't want them to have the ability to... Wow. You're killing the Azcanta and not the Narset. Okay. Sure. I would have targeted Narset there. If they play Niv, they could draw this. This was the fear. Okay, so there's no reason to dispute this, unfortunately. So there goes Narset.
This was overwhelming.
All right. So I think I will just make the 2/2. Another Narset, okay. So we're kind of in the same position as last turn, right? Okay, Narset. We can't memory this turn, but if they play Niv, we can dispute it anyway.
If you wish to surrender, I have
If they do somehow manage to kill Narset, then I guess I won't commence. God, I love playing Dimir so much. Stop doing that. Stop finding the right removal spell. I guess.
Train harder.
Please stop. Wisconsin's pretty good too. I don't really want to cast Memory without the Narset in play. Alright. So I think the plan is going to be get Iskanta in play, wait to see how good their Niv hit is. If it's good, then maybe we cast a Naked Memory after flipping Iskanta. And if it's bad, we can just commence the endgame. So they could play Niv. Sorry. How much mana do they have? They have 4, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10. So if they hit another binding off of this Niv, then that could be lights out for our search. And if our plan is going to be to cast Memory anyway, then having the extra card in the hand doesn't really matter that much. So let's cast this Dispute. We'll make them pay. We have the option to cast Baleful Mastery as well to get the to kill the Niv. All right, show me what you got. Vanishing Verse. Which of course is like the perfect answer to search. But they don't have the mana to cast it. That's awesome. Or cast Drown on the Lock. Alright. If we're gonna cast Memory, Drown kind of sucks. But I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, if we let them untap, Drown on the Lock gets to be annoying. Is it even that bad? I don't think we do that, actually. I think we just chill. I guess I got tunneled on casting Memory, but I don't think we need to. Okay. I just sort of assumed that as soon as they resolved Niv, we'd be in trouble. But now they're doing things like casting Giganta, so... Okay. Doomblade's not the worst. Okay. Doesn't hit much else in their deck. Niv, of course, is black. Doomblade's a weird choice. Are they gonna counter the Doomblade? They are. Wow, okay. Alright, let's start with Brainstorm. Wow, okay. I don't know, man. Feel like our draws have kind of sucked. Still not casting memory here. That seems nuts. So. Guess we're gonna say go. You want to know why Doomblade over Heart was sacked? You're gonna have to ask Reed Duke. So they have all the mana in the world. Hopefully they don't find anything to do with it. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of these lands in the most effective way. I think it's Iskanta. And that lets us cycle both fetid pools as well if we want. Wow. Okay. I guess that resolves. How many Narsets do we have left? 2? Lightning Helix. Sure. That's a little late, but I guess it's what we want. Irritating. Okay. Cool. So we'll start with the Thoughtseize. Journal Lock and Vanishing Verse. Alright. And so I guess we're Extinction Eventing Odd, and we're going to Doomblade the Krasis. Okay. I'm not sure I want to Extinction Event the Giganta yet. Yeah, I don't think so. I'll take 5 if that's what it takes. If they play another Niv, then next turn we'll get to Extinction Event and have memory available. That's what we decide we want. Alright. So let's Iskanta first before Brainstorm. Wow. Okay. Now I think I will just cast this one. Huh. Alright, so that's probably good news for us. It means they think we would take the Vanishing Verse, so whatever this last card is, probably... Okay, that's fine too. Now we can just do this on odd. And we just need them to whiff for a turn. Which means they'll draw Niv, right? Easily? Oh, that's fine. Alright guys, Kanta hits have not been great. They have really, really not been great. Let's see if we can pull, like, Narset off of this as Kanta. Actually, let's do it off of Brainstorm. If we find Narset, then we can do that and the memory. Although that would give them a card that they don't already have. Put these two back, I guess. And I'm just gonna jam this shark, I think. And hope that they don't, immediately binding it. Am I brainstorming here? Or am I just Kantaing here? Of course, Kantaing. Alright, so it's pretty good. This is still game one. Stop it! Jesus Christ. That's so annoying. Alright, fine.
Those who cannot perceive beyond the veil of reality are lost.
Drown at the Lock, great. They have no graveyard. Wonderful.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
I guess I want Shark Typhoon. I already have a Doomblade. So I think I'm gonna pitch Field of Ruin. Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good one card to draw. Uh-huh. Yep, you got it. My clock is already down to 15 minutes again. Something about Dimir makes me play really slow. Okay. So we can brainstorm in response if we want. Or we can just drown this. I'm gonna brainstorm. Okay. Put back the shark and probably the brainstorm. Yeah. Yeah, we'll let it resolve. If they play Niv, yeah, Mystical Dispute still... They can still pay through it. Opponent is hanging tough. Alright, I don't think we're gonna hard cast the Shark Typhoon here. We're just gonna say go. So Doomblade, of course, not great against... That sucks. That sucks. Do I just make a giant shark? Probably. But I want to keep the Fable Passage uncracked. So let's just make a 10-10. Yeah. And they can take what they like. Our hand is not particularly good against them anyway. I mean, this is the second match in a row where we've cast the Narset memory combo, and it just, our opponent has not cared at all. It just powered right through it. Alright. Let's start with a Brainstorm. How many basics do we have left? None? Okay, that's great.
Focus and discipline. Hone your prowess.
I guess it's Extinction Event. And we'll say go. Find me a win condition. Do I even have any left? Yeah, we have plenty. There's one. I think we'll wait before... I think I want to make this shark pretty big. Upkeep stop. Okay. Lightning Helix killing Narset. Okay.
Such violence is upsetting.
Maybe I should have thought seized there to take a removal spell from them. In fact, yeah, that's so much better that I think I'm just going to wait one more turn on the shark. That's pretty good too. Yeah, cool. Actually, we can even shark and hold up commence. So let's do that. That'll get us our 6/6 no matter what. Whatever. That is a lot of triumphs. Alright, let's just make an 11/11. But there's no need. Just make a 6/6. Cool. Well, that only took 20 minutes of my clock to do. How are they doing on the clock? They spent 10 minutes on that. Alright, but Reed Duke actually has a sideboard guide for this one. What does Reed Duke like against Niv Mizzet? 1 Commence. He likes Thought Distortion, which makes sense. 2 Negates. He likes Heartless Act, which is not in the sideboard, so that's great. He wants me to remove Languish, which is not in the main deck, so that's great. Cut 2 Fatal Push. Cut a Doomblade. And cut 2 Extinction Events. Okay. I think that's fair. If we see something like commence the end game out of them, I would be interested in bringing in Discontinuity. But I think I like this. I think this is fine. Yeah, okay. Alright. We've got Thoughtseize, we've got Brainstorm, we got Fateful Passage. We can do it all if we want. And I think I want. So 2 Nivs, a Duress. Drown the Lock, Expressive Iteration. Wow. Their hand is quite good if they ever get to cast anything. So next turn will like certainly be Duress, right? And we'll lose one of Narset or Brainstorm if we do, but their hand just might never come together if we take Iteration. So I think that's what we're going to have to take and just suck it up that Duress is going to trade with one of our things. So they'll probably take Narset, I guess, but Brainstorm isn't bad. Nope, found land like a champion. Alright. Dispute's great. Thoughtseize is great. Escanta is honestly pretty good too. So next turn is probably going to be Escanta plus Thoughtseize. Let's put back these two, and we can use Escanta to try to find a land. We do need to crack the passage if we're going to have that turn. So it feels bad putting a land on top, but I guess we Thoughtseize first. Teferi, okay. It's probably Teferi, frankly. He's just much easier for them to cast. And we get the Escanta down now before they can hit it with Drown the Lock. That goes to the graveyard. We need land. We found it. And now we need to answer 2 Niv Mizzets. That is irritating. If we counter this, then Escanta will flip. They can drown the dispute, though. Alright, I guess this resolves. I think we're gonna cycle the shark. We need to find something. Doomblade not really what we're after. So they... Does that mean they can't cast Niv? Well, in any case, we're just gonna Doomblade that. Brainstorm. Okay, so we can try to find our land. Barely. I guess we can put this in the deck to hide it from Thoughtseize. Alright, so next turn, we're in some trouble. Alright, we're just gonna make another shark. Try to get deep into the deck. And if they jam Niv here, we'll commence the end game and try to find an answer. Although now that they found 2 land left over, they have Drown in the Lock available too. So even if we find a counterspell, they can counter it with Drown. This is gonna get ugly. Need them to whiff. Oh god. That is not a whiff. Holy crap. With 6 minutes on the clock, I'm gonna scoop. I think that normally I would play through this, but seeing the counterspells face up and the Hybrid Crisis, I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna win, and I think we need to have the time to try to win in game 3. So, yeah. I think the sideboarding was fine. I guess if we could have ripped like Thought Distortion off the top, that's what we had to find. Oh, by the way, I was looking at the Twitch statistics earlier today, and I found that I now meet all the requirements for affiliate, except followers. So if you're watching the stream and you're not following, you could make my day by giving me one of the 10 follows that I need to get to affiliate. It would make me very happy. This hand honestly does very little. I'll maul. This is better. Keep this. I think we'll put back Doomblade. And let's just play Highland to get around Thoughtseize. Alright. May you enlighten me a little. You may. Please. I enjoy enlightenment. Tell me about Small World. Okay, you can tell me, but I'm not going to listen because I have 5 minutes on the clock. I will catch up with that after this game is over. But yes, please share. Come on. Negate seems great. Probably should have played the Field of Ruin to hit the Glacial Fortress. Maybe the Savage Ryon. That's probably better. Now, opponent is having no difficulty at all finding the mana they need. They veto my Brainstorm. Okay. Find Commence. And I think they only have swamps. Alright, well, let's hit this Triome. And next turn, maybe we can do it again. Weird flex, but okay. What's the weird flex? We countering this? I think we are countering this. Oh, the veto on the Brainstorm. Yeah, that was weird. I should have played the Field of Ruin. I'm playing sloppy. One eye on my clock at all times. Sure. Okay, the Bachagantha. Okay, that's fine. Alright, that's pretty sweet. So Thoughtseize will fill up their graveyard, so Drown of the Lock will now hit and miss it. That's fine. We're on 8 cards in the bin, so our search is about to flip. Although we only have 3.5 minutes left. So maybe I need to be aggressive with how I go after them. I can hardcast Typhoon, but like, it just seems so likely they have an answer to it. We can Field of Ruin their Glacial Fortress and they have no white left. Mortality Spear. Okay. Now I think I will hardcast the Typhoon, right? We'll get them down to 16. No. We'll flash in the Shark. Is the Insight tomorrow? Yeah, it's at 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. They had their white, but they played it tapped. Alright.
I know 88 ways. I have just the trick for this.
Yeah, negate. I guess maybe it should have been Doomblade, so we can attack for lethal next turn. Yeah, it definitely should have been Doomblade. Although not if they're doing that. Do I win? Do I win? Tanking is probably a bad sign for us, right? Yeah, 3 minutes left. But that's 3 minutes more than we needed. Oh, God. It's so nice playing a control deck again. God love it. Alright, so that's 2-0 with Dimir. But I don't think I have the appetite for a third one with this deck, so I'm going to cut this here and move on to the next deck. I'm tempted to play it tomorrow.